Hey everyone, I'm Heather and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with the Radiants. In the last one, we were attacked and spent most of our time in the infirmary. And now we have to figure out who it is that attacked us. So let's go ahead and get started. What should I do today? Okay, so we do have a weekend day. Let's look. Okay, quickness maybe? My reflexes and physical reaction time. That does seem to be the slowest of the ones that we have up. Now, I'm wondering though, perhaps I should at least work on getting theory over 50? We may do poorly. I don't know. I'm not sure what type of spread you really need to have for these. Let's force. We must need to go spring maybe? Yeah, spring courtyard. I spend the afternoon in the spring courtyard for a nice jog. I feel refreshed and energized and ready to take on the world. Okay. Okay, week 10. With everything that has been happening in recent days, I had almost forgotten about my request to meet with Samia. So when the shining form of the wisp appears in my room, I'm not expecting it. Good morning, Miss Ash. Ventus, did you hear back from Samia? I did. Miss Almasi asked that you meet her in the dining hall this evening. What? Today? Yes, today. Okay, thanks for the message. Without another word, Ventus disappears. Looks like I might actually get the answers I've been looking for, tonight. Unless she's evil. But for now, it's time to choose this week's electives. Okay. I don't think it's worthwhile to change the electives. So we'll just do that. Alright. We spent some time focusing on the divination aspect of astrology and the application of astrology in personal growth, relationships, and decision making. Supposedly, astrology can be used to make informed decisions about career, finance, and other areas of life, but with varying degrees of success. Some Radiants live by the rule of astrology, while others dismiss it completely. Of course, this is pretty much the same in the human world, except with much less respect given to the study. Okay. I arrive very early for my meeting with Samia. Nervous energy ripples through me as I sit, journal in hand. I could be in very big trouble if Samia had something to do with the Oracle's death. However, I'm betting that she won't do anything drastic in such a crowded place. I hope my bet pays off. Thanks for meeting with me. I must admit, your message took me by surprise. Do you really have the Oracle's journal? I hold up the green-covered book, but I do not give it to her. I'm not letting anyone get their hands on this book until I can determine my safety. I almost didn't believe it. How on earth did you manage to come across that? Honestly, I think someone led me to it. I'm just not sure if that someone was Sybil, William, or someone else entirely. Well, as interesting as your discovery may be, I'm not sure how I can help you. I need to choose my next words carefully. If Samia had anything to do with Sybil's death, she will not be pleased to find out that I know she was the last person the Oracle spoke about in her journal. Sybil wrote about having a meeting with you to discuss strange visions she was having. She said you knew the most about the Oracle that came before her. About William? Well, yes. I was there when William served, but Sybil never came to me about anything regarding strange visions or William. She didn't? I knew that she was becoming very paranoid during her last weeks, but if she had planned to meet with me to discuss it, she never got the chance. Well, this is not what I expected. I searched Samia's face, trying to determine if she was being honest with me. There's no way to know for sure, but my senses tell me she's not lying about meeting with Sybil. Did you know that Sybil thought she saw William? That she thought he was trying to give her a message? As I said, she had become very paranoid. She thought she was being watched, but it could not have been William. He died in the human world. That's where Sybil found him, and how she received the Oracle's gifts. If you ask me, he got what was coming to him. Traversing the human plane is dangerous for any of us. No one knows what he was doing there in the first place. So William visited the human realm without the council knowing about it? There were no records of William leaving Perilyn, so finding out he died in the human realm was a bit of a surprise. William was willing to leave the protections of the council behind, and it got him killed. Such a waste. I think back to Sybil's writings. She thought she saw William alive, not a ghost, not a vision. Alive. Do you think there's any chance William might not have died that day? Why would you think something like that? It's just the way Sybil wrote about him. She was certain she saw him alive. Is there any chance he didn't die? It's true that his body was not recovered, but Sybil received the Oracle's gifts. That cannot happen without the death of the previous Oracle. And even if he somehow managed to survive, he could not have lived long as a human, not without some seriously dark magic. So dark magic could keep someone alive that long? I suppose there are ways, but that type of magic is certainly not common knowledge, nor is it easily accessible, especially to humans. But it is possible William could still be alive. But using dark magic, I'm not likely to find out much about that topic at the Sarenville Library. If only I knew someone knowledgeable on the subject. Look, Sybil was a wonderful oracle, but she had become unstable towards the end. She was certain someone was trying to kill her, but with the protection from the council, it would be near impossible to get to her. But someone did kill her. Sybil's death was ruled an accident. An accident? That can't be true. I saw her. She looked terrified. And you said yourself she was worried about someone going after her. Her body was examined, and it was determined she died from respiratory failure. That can't be all. I assumed you would feel relieved to know her death was not a murder. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what could cause respiratory failure, but I can't get behind the accident theory. Sybil's journal indicates that there was something more going on, something that scared her. Technically, I'm not supposed to share the details with anyone, but if it puts your mind at ease, I feel you should know. When Sybil's body was examined, they found aconite in her system. What is aconite? A plant sometimes used in herbal remedies, but fatal if taken in large doses. So she was poisoned? That's not the current theory. Why not? Because the plant can only be found in the human realm, and as I mentioned earlier, trips beyond Perilyn are extensively documented. So you think Sebel traveled to the human world and poisoned herself? There are records of her visiting her homeland, and aconite is found in that area, so the theory is that she used the plant as an herbal remedy and accidentally ingested too much. I suppose the theory makes sense, but something still doesn't feel right. What of her sightings of William, and her experiences of being followed that strangely mirror my own? Does aconite cause hallucinations? I'm not an expert on plants, especially not in human plants, but I don't think that's one of the symptoms. I slump a little in my chair, feeling like I'm at a dead end. I know something else is happening here, but I can't put my finger on it. I must return. Is that all you wish to know? Not even close. Yeah, sure. Thanks for your time. I leave the dining hall feeling dejected. So the council doesn't believe that Sebel was murdered? I just can't believe that. I saw the fear in her eyes, and I read her words in the journal. I refuse to believe that Sebel was simply mad, but it looks like I have a lot more digging to do. Time for today's elective. We continue to learn about the ancient methods of divining by earth. Club meeting? It's time for this week's club meeting. When I enter the club room, Tanya immediately pounces on me. Today's the day. What day? The day the Starminster students return to their school. They're going back after classes today. I stare at her, momentarily unsure what she's getting at. Then the realization hits. Oh, that means we've managed to avoid Reese entering the room. We saved him. You saved him. You did something incredible, and I couldn't be prouder to call you my clubmate. Well, we still have time. Oh, stop. I didn't really do anything. You made contact with a ghost. That is definitely something. So that means Alistair will disappear? I can't help but feel a little sad. Sure, this is what he wanted, but I have to admit I enjoyed getting to know him. Reese, not so much. I'm pretty sure I will not miss him when he's gone. I assume so. I guess you'll have to visit the room to be sure. Once Reese is gone, of course. I nod silently. The idea of going back into that room and finding it empty. It's a good thing, right? Alistair will finally be free. This entire thing is going into the Mystery Club records. They'll be talking about this for ages. I can't help but smile at her enthusiasm. I wait until dark to return to the cold room. As soon as I enter, I know something is different. I know that he is gone. I walk around for a moment trying to sense him, but there's nothing. Goodbye, Alistair. I hope you're happy, wherever you are. I waste no time after classes are over. If I'm going to talk to Dex, I've got to do it before it gets too late. I find out that Dex is being kept in a small cabin on the outskirts of the Sarenville grounds. There are 2 guards posted outside the door. I'm not sure the guards will be very accommodating, so I decide to play the role of emotional victim. I just need to see him or else I won't be able to concentrate on my studies, I told them. I'm a little surprised my excuse actually worked. Maybe being the future Oracle does have certain perks. When I enter the small room, I find Dex lounging on the small bed, book in hand. He barely glances up as I enter. So they let you in, huh? Aren't they afraid I'll attack you? Don't know, but I'm not afraid. Is that so? Then why am I in here? Surely it was you that told the headmaster about the notes. I did tell him about the notes, but I didn't tell him you attacked me. I didn't attack you. That has nothing to do with me. But you must admit that you looked pretty suspicious after writing all those notes. Nothing in those notes indicated that I would attack you. Maybe not at first, but come on, that last one was more than a little threatening. The one where I told you to back out? That is barely a threat. No, the one where you threatened to hurt the person I most care about. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you really going to try to deny it after all this? I admitted to sending you notes. Why would I deny sending another? Because it's different from the rest. Different how? Do you have the note? I don't. I gave it to the headmaster to investigate. When they locked you away, I assumed they had the proof you sent it. Huh? No, they don't have any proof yet, only your word. And apparently that is enough to keep me here until the authorities can question me. I can't help but feel a little bad for Dex, but I'm not sure I trust him entirely either. If you didn't send the note, who did? The question was rhetorical, so I'm surprised when Dex gives me an answer. Maybe the same person that is sending them to me. What? I wasn't going to get into it, but since I'm currently getting pinned with everything, I've got nothing much to lose. I sent you those notes when you first arrived, because I was told to. Told to? Who told you to? That's just it, I don't know. I started receiving threatening notes not long after you came to Sarenville. Notes that told me to scare you away, to make you leave the school. Why would someone want me to leave the school? I have no idea. I couldn't exactly question them, but they had information about me that they threatened to leak if I did not comply. Any chance you'll tell me what that information was? Not a chance. A sudden thought hits me. Do you still have any of the notes? No, after you confronted me, I decided I didn't want to do their bidding anymore. Dark secrets be damned. So I ignored every note I received from then on, destroyed them on the spot without even reading them. Damn. Why? Do you think the notes would help you find out who sent them? I think it would. It's how I found out that you sent the first two. Ah, some kind of oracle magic then? I wonder if the culprit considered that. I gave the only note I had to the headmaster. I have no idea what he did with it. So you'll have to find the culprit some other way, if you believe me, that is. Whether I do or not, I intend to find out the truth. So is that why you came here, to grill me about the notes again? Actually, no, I had an entirely different purpose. Now I'm intrigued. I wanted to ask you about dark magic. Well, that is not the response I was expecting. Why do you think I would know anything about dark magic? Well, I kind of found out about your parents. Huh. I guess the gossip wheel never stops turning. So, is it true that your parents joined the Sullen? It's true, but I haven't spoken to them in years. When I refused to come with them, they sort of disowned me. So they didn't manage to teach you anything about dark magic before they disappeared? I didn't say that. Then what are you saying? My parents had plenty of books that would be considered illegal to own. I read some of them. I may still have some of them. Not in here, of course. Okay, so you know some stuff. What is it that you want to know? You must have a reason if you came all the way here. I want to know if extending someone's life with dark magic is possible, and if so, how might one go about it? Whoa, that's pretty specific. I have my reasons. I get it. You don't have to give me the details. Life extension is possible, but it's not easy. There's no one-step solution. It would require constant upkeep. Could you be a little more specific? In order to give yourself life, you have to take life from someone else. So you'd have to kill someone. You don't actually have to kill them, although you could. You could just sort of siphon the life from someone else. You could take 1 year or 10. There's a whole process. It also requires you to consume a person's blood regularly. How regularly? Probably every day, maybe more than once a day. I'm not entirely sure. So if a person wanted to live forever, they just have to drink someone's blood every day? There's more to it than that. Dark magic is all about ritual and sacrifice. Just drinking blood alone won't do it. But that's where my knowledge ends. I don't know much about the actual ritual. What do you plan to do with this information? I'm not exactly sure yet. Is this somehow linked to the notes? I really don't know. It could be. Look, I don't know exactly what is happening here, but I'd be careful. If you suspect someone of this kind of magic, well, you just don't know what this person is willing to do. I don't, but that's why I have to find out before they do something worse than sending threatening notes. Do you want me to ask the headmaster to release you? I can tell him you didn't attack me. So now you believe I'm innocent? I wasn't sure when I came in here, but now, yeah, I think I do believe you. Well, don't bother going to the headmaster. It's not his decision anymore. Once it's been referred to the authorities, they'll never consider letting me out until they can question me. I could still try. Honestly, I feel like I'm safer in here. Those words send a chill down my spine, but he may be right. A guard comes in then, interrupting our conversation to let me know my time is up. Okay, one last thing. The guard gives me a quick nod and I turn towards Dex. When I find out who's behind this, and I will, I'll make sure they let you out. Sure thing, detective. Yeah, I'm becoming a regular Nancy Drew. Who? Never mind. When Rayla and I arrive in history class, I notice renewed interest in me from the other students. I guess people still aren't done wondering about the attack. That is so last week. There's nothing more to tell. Don't these people have anything else to do? The truth is, I do have more to tell. I no longer suspect Dex, with the attack or the threatening note. The general public doesn't appear to agree, but I can't correct anyone until I know who really is behind it. Professor Mordain enters the class, and the students settle down somewhat, though their hushed whispers still ripple through the room. I think it's him. I think he's William. Maybe. Everyone, please take your seats. It's history time. And welcome back, Miss Ash. We are all so relieved to see you back with us. I give a strained smile in response. I know he means well, but I don't enjoy being called out. I can feel everyone's eyes on me, and it's like my first week all over again. Today's lesson is not particularly interesting. I find my thoughts wandering and my eyes droop. Rayla's slow, steady breathing next to me reveals that perhaps I'm not the only one struggling to stay awake today. I'm not sure how much time has passed when I'm awakened by the voice of Professor Mordain beside me. Miss Ash? What? Oh no, did I fall asleep? The classroom is emptied. All the students are gone. How long have I been asleep? Professor Mordain chuckles softly. Yes, but don't worry. It's completely understandable. I told Rayla to let you be for now. You obviously still need some time to recover from your injuries. More like I've been exhausting all my energy trying to find the person responsible for those injuries. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I feel okay now. Good. Your health is the most important thing. My boring history lectures can wait. Your lectures aren't boring. I can tell when I don't have the full attention of my audience. It's perfectly all right. Not all topics are full of excitement and adventure. Well, I guess I'd better get going then. Would you like some tea before you go? I have one that will give you a boost of energy for the rest of your day. That actually sounds pretty good right now, thank you. We don't take strange tea from strange people. Professor Mordain hurries off towards his desk and returns with 2 teacups. This is lemon balm tea. It's good for enhancing cognitive functions. So I'm about to get a brain boost? That's what they say. I just find that the lemon flavor gives me a bit more pep in my step. I take a sip of the tea. The lemon flavor is intense but soothing. You're very strong, you know. What? I am? Certainly. With all that you've been through, you still refuse to give up. I don't know many people that would be able to endure what you have these past few weeks. I don't know about that. It's true, not just being thrust into an entirely new world, but now the attack on top of all that, plus having your room destroyed and being threatened by a fellow student? How did you know about that? About what? About my room being trashed. Oh, that? I'm not entirely sure. I suppose I heard it from one of the staff. Nothing stays secret around here for long, I'm afraid. Right, of course. I lapse into silence. Professor Mordain continues, switching the topic to other things, but I'm not listening. I had not told anyone that my room had been trashed, not even the headmaster. How could the professor possibly know? Of course, there could be ways that the staff could find out, but no one has mentioned it to me before now. I'm suddenly feeling very uncomfortable. Sorry, Professor, but I need to go. Is everything all right? You haven't finished your tea. I think I just need some fresh air. Thanks again for the tea. Of course, stop by any time. Suspicious. I practically run out of the classroom and out of the courtyard. I wasn't lying about needing fresh air. I suddenly feel very lightheaded. Am I jumping to conclusion? Professor Mordain can't have anything to do with this, can he? What reason could he possibly have, besides being evil? At least Dex seems suspicious because of his background, but my eminently helpful history professor, it doesn't make sense. I need to calm down. It was just one offhanded comment. I can't let myself become too paranoid. I take several steadying breaths before heading back to the class hall. Time for today's elective. We spend more time learning about different types of pens and brushes and how to choose the right tools for different types of magical calligraphy. Hey, you, Oracle! I'm on my way to Arian's office for our lesson when I'm stopped in the hall by a small group of students. I eye them warily. Hello? Is it true you can see the future? Of course she can, Miles. She's the Oracle. Right. Well, in that case, we'd like to ask you a little favor. What kind of favor? We want to know what the answers to the next week's exam will be. What? I can't do that. Oh, come on. Don't be so proper. No one ever needs to know. But it doesn't work like that. I can't just conjure up answers at will. Sounds like she's making excuses, Miles. Sure does, doesn't it? The student called Miles moves closer to me, so close I can feel his breath on my face. He's got me cornered against the wall. I glance desperately towards the door to Arian's office. It's so close, if only I could get to it, but this Miles guy is huge. He's completely blocking my path, and I'd never be able to push past him, especially when he's being flanked by 4 other goons. You lying to us, Oracle? You think you're too good to help your fellow students? I think that's exactly what she thinks, Miles. Then I guess we should show her that she ain't as good as she thinks she is. Before I even get a chance to formulate a response, the door to Arian's office bursts open. All 5 of the students whirl around at the sound, but Miles keeps his stance, still effectively blocking my path to safety. Arian now stands in the hallway, a look of absolute rage on his face, his hands balled into fists and trembling with barely contained fury. The students are frozen with fear, their eyes wide with uncertainty. Even Miles seems to shrink in stature before Arian. Step away from her, now. Miles hesitates for a moment, then slowly backs away. He turns to run, but before he can take more than 3 steps, a powerful shockwave rips through the hall, knocking all 5 students down and sending them sprawling across the floor. What was that? Was that a mind blast? Arian reaches out and grabs Miles by the collar, lifting him off the ground. Do not test me. You will be expelled if you so much as speak to her again. With that, Arian releases Miles. He falls onto the floor, gasping for air. Don't think I won't take action against you and your friends. Miles looks up in fear, his expression still a mixture of confusion and terror. His friends don't move from where they lay on the floor. Get out of here. They scramble to their feet, fleeing down the corridor. As soon as they're gone, Arian turns back to me. I'm in shock. Not just by the harassment from students, but from Arian's intense reaction. I've never seen him lose his composure like this. Are you all right? I'm fine, but how did you know we were out here? I felt your mind, your fear. Then I felt theirs. There was nothing good in their minds. I thought that you didn't like to read people's minds. That was different. He reaches out and runs his hand down my cheek. His touch is gentle and warm. I feel a shiver of pleasure that races through my body from where his fingers touched. But I also feel something else, something unnerving. Seeing Arian lose control like that brought back all my fears about him turning to dark magic. He pulls his hand away and I quickly turn my head away. Come, let's get you inside. I nod and follow him into the office. He closes the door behind us and locks it, then sits down behind his desk. He gestures for me to sit in the chair in front of it. Why did you do that? Do what? You mind blasted them. I had no choice. I cannot allow others to hurt you. But why? They were just stupid bullies. Why couldn't you just tell them off? Because I want to teach them a lesson, and this way, they'll see that I will not tolerate such behavior. What's going on with you, Arian? This isn't like you. It's not like me? Have you forgotten who I am? What I am? No, I haven't forgotten. It's just, I've never seen you act this way before. I had to make an example of them, otherwise they would continue harassing you. I sigh deeply. This conversation is not going the way I'd like it to. After our last conversation, I thought Arian was making an effort to control his destiny. Is he already losing control, or am I just overreacting? I sense that I have upset you. I just think that you could have chosen a better option than to use such a forceful mind blast. You were right. Perhaps that was not the best course of action. I saw you in trouble and I just reacted. I apologize. You need to promise me that you'll never do it again. Arian is silent for a long moment before answering. I cannot promise I won't do everything in my power to protect you if you are in trouble. However, I will accept that in this instance I was too hasty in my decision to use magic. I will not be so hasty again. Thank you. The rest of the evening passes swiftly. We spend most of our time working on exercises to improve my mental defenses. I do my best to keep my fears buried deep, but it becomes harder to ignore. The more I learn about Arian, the more afraid I become that he might turn to dark magic. You should go to bed early tonight. You look exhausted. I am a bit tired. I gather my belongings and start for the exit. Wait. I stop just in front of the door. I turn around and meet his eyes. You aren't afraid of me, are you? You haven't changed your mind? No, of course not. I was just surprised, that's all. That's not entirely true, but I don't want to say anything that will make him more upset. Arian nods and kisses me lightly on the forehead. Get some rest. I'll see you soon. I leave the room and hurry down the stairs, trying to put this afternoon's events from my mind. Alright, so that is where we are going to end. I feel like Professor Mordain is the evil one in this. I kind of thought so in the beginning, thought maybe Samiya a little bit, but I'm thinking it is him. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be everything for this time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!